Hey everyone, welcome to the Crypto Data. So tonight I just want to talk about Bitcoin to ease some of the fear that some people may having. The past couple days have been really crazy. There's been some big sell-offs. There's been a lot of news from China, actually some news from JP Morgan, and some news on Twitter that have caused fear in the market and caused these huge sell-offs that you see. So I want to tell you some of the reasons why there's been sell-offs and why there's no reason to panic. So right now Bitcoin's sitting at about $3,800 on Bittrex, and I think that we may be approaching the bottom right now, and we may be getting ready to rally. So one of the big key support levels you can see here is 3,600. So if Bitcoin does continue its fall, I see strong support at 3,600 and I see a huge bounce from there. Currently right now, being at 3,792, it's been in this channel pretty much all day between 38, 3,900. And I think that right now people are starting to realize all of the fake news coming out and all the scare tactics that have been used, and they're starting to hold their Bitcoin and not sell it, and actually smart investors are buying this up right now because it's actually a great price. So let me tell you why I feel confident in Bitcoin and why I think it'll rise very soon in the future. So some of the events leading up to this, as you know, China spread some news about banning Bitcoin or banning some Bitcoin exchanges. So that caused a lot of panic. There wasn't really any sources on that, but China's been known to do that in the past. So that's definitely something that people have started to realize, and every time they announce it, it has a much smaller effect. So along with that, if you may know Charlie Lee, he's actually the creator of Litecoin. Actually, a couple days ago, he tweeted out that he had some news from an anonymous source, and he's asking if he should release it. Well, long story short, everyone wanted him to release it, so he released his news. One of his first tweets, he said, as you can see, September 12th, looks like this time China finally banned Bitcoin. There's only one response: just hold. So, and then you can see that he actually changed that statement, and instead of saying ban Bitcoin, he changed it to Bitcoin exchanges. So his tweet actually caused some fear in the market and caused a lot of people to sell Bitcoin. If you look at his Twitter, it has 123 followers. And the funny thing is, if you saw that tweet, it was on September 12th. So if you look, it was on September 12th, and then you can see actually that September 12th, that tweet's no longer here. So he actually deleted that tweet and deleted anything saying that he had news from an anonymous source, and it almost seemed like he was trolling the market just to get it to drop so people would buy his Litecoin. So that's one thing people can't take seriously. A lot of times these big followers, whether they're in different coins, they have ulterior motives. So don't always believe what you're told. There's always scare tactics being used, and just always do your research beforehand. So that was one of the first things that caused a little sell-off. And then the big sell-off was actually JP Morgan's Dimon saying Bitcoin is a fraud. So this one you've probably heard about. A lot of people have been talking about it. And basically what happened was the chief executive of JP Morgan Chase, he said on Tuesday, September 12th, that Bitcoin is a fraud. And he said this at a bank investor conference in New York. And so he said a lot of things about Bitcoin, and he says it's not backed by the government, and although its value has quadrupled. And basically, he didn't have any base of what he was saying. He didn't have any sources. He didn't have any evidence. He was just saying it. And basically, he also said 2 hours later at another conference that one of his daughters had bought some Bitcoin. So he gave that information out. And also, if you look down here, let's see if we can find it. So now, okay, so people were asking him, okay, if you think it's so bad, why don't you short it? So then he said he predicted big losses for Bitcoin buyers, but then he said, don't ask me to short it. It could be at 20,000 before this happens. So he's just blowing smoke. He doesn't, he's saying it's going to fall, but yet he doesn't want to short it. And then he says it could go to 20,000 before. So everyone, don't believe these CEOs, especially ones that aren't even in the cryptocurrency market or aren't traders. They're just CEOs of a company, and they aren't actually in trading Bitcoin. They don't know what's going on with it. They don't know all of the technology and all the advancements it's making. So don't just believe what someone says just because they're CEO of a company. Always do your research. Look at what they're saying, and if they have sources to back it up. That's the biggest thing. So you can see here Bitcoin fell as much as 4% following Dimon's comments, and there's last trading at 41.64. So, and then again, the Chinese government is planning to ban. So all these are FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's being spread just so these people can get Bitcoin at lower prices because they see it coming up and they see it disrupting their profits, so they don't want to see others profiting from that. So, and then it says right here, so the strategists of a GFI group, it feels like we're in the midst of a negative news cycle, but even considering all of this, we're still trading above 4,000. So that comment alone tells you how strong Bitcoin is and tell you how strong of a support system it has. So people are still holding this because they believe it, and it's just the people that are panic selling that are causing it to drop. But you can see 4,000 has been a strong support level. And then following his comment, following Jamie Dimon's comment, an interesting thing happened. So you can see former JP Morgan executive tells Jamie Dimon to shut up about Bitcoin. So we can see here, okay, so Alex Gurevich, so he was actually one of the former executives at JP Morgan, and he tweeted on September 12th, after Jamie made this comment, Jamie, you're a great boss and the greatest of all time bank CEO. You're not a trader or tech entrepreneur. Please shut up about trading Bitcoin. So that was huge. Alex, I believe, has over 12,000 followers, and for him to be the former CEO of JP Morgan and to tell Jamie that was big news. That was something that shocked a lot of people, but he was right. Jamie is not a trader or a tech entrepreneur. So he didn't have any he had a baseless comment, didn't have any evidence on it. He was just saying stuff. And then you can also see, right, it says Jamie's been talking about Bitcoin since 2015. He's continuously disregarded Bitcoin as a currency and a store of value. So if you know Bitcoin in 2015, the price was cheap. I believe it was near 1,000 or even less than 1,000. And now it's quadrupled and even gone higher than that. So that tells you, I mean, this guy, he's always bashing Bitcoin. He doesn't have any evidence. He's always saying it's in a bubble. So don't trust these people who are just making faceless comments just to shake up the market. So that's one thing to do your research. And if you have Bitcoin right now, just hold it, because I really think we're towards the bottom. On my Twitter earlier today, twitter.com/@thecryptodata, I actually stated, 7 hours ago, we're holding around 38 to 3,900, showing some good uptrend action. So Bitcoin's been having a lot of downward movement, but based off of the RSI, it's showing it's starting to get oversold. So, and then right now it's up actually to 38.18 as we speak. So it's showing the strong support around the 3,800 level. I think we're going to stay here for a little bit. And if we do go down and retrace, 3,600 is a great support, is a really, really strong support. So continuing on about Jamie Dimon, there's actually a tweet someone put out later that day on September 12th that said, well, Jamie Dimon was bashing Bitcoin. His SF office was hosting blockchain app, Pantera Capital, Boost VTC, and Polychain Fund. So his own SF office was hosting all of this, and you can see right here, JP Morgan Private Bank. And these are all of Jamie Dimon's workers, and they're at this event while he was bashing Bitcoin. So that tells you he has ulterior motives. He's not just bashing Bitcoin to bash it. JP Morgan has their own blockchain that they're working on. So they see Bitcoin as a threat to that. So they want to try to bash it as much as they can. So this further tells you that don't always read what you see in the news. Don't take it for face value. Do your research and make sure you understand what they're saying and where they're getting their sources from. So those are the main reasons why Bitcoin has been falling. As you can see, a lot of it's just fake news, just causing fear in the market for no reason at all. So 3 big reasons that I see why Bitcoin is going to be huge in the future and why it's going to keep rising is there's actually 3 countries that have already are on the adopting Bitcoin. So you can see here September 14th, 2017. July 4th, 2017. So there's an article by news.bitcoin.com that the rollout of 260,000 plus Bitcoin accepting stores in Japan begins. So this is huge. 260,000 stores are going to start accepting Bitcoin. That is crazy. And in Japan, that tells you, okay, so they're already starting to accept Bitcoin. So they're kind of leading the way and showing that if they're putting it in this many stores, there's going to be a huge adoption, and it's just going to cause the price to increase even more. So that's great news in itself that Japan's adopting it. And then you go over here to Russia from Cointelegraph.com. This was on September 10th, 2017, so just 4 days ago. It says Russia is working on legalizing status of Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies. So as you can see here, it's in the midst of legitimizing cryptocurrencies. And it says Putin had met with Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin, who ingrained the merits of Russia's usage of the blockchain. And then also finance, we can see here Bank of Russia Governor Box. So as with other technology trends, digital currencies have not won everyone over. But it says there's much been speculation over the cracking down on currencies, but there's also people that are backing them up. So it says the Russian finance ministry has previously balked on and considered prohibition of the use of cryptocurrencies, but now it's gotten backing from Putin, and the state has realized that digital currencies are part of the new economic realities. So that's big. If this gets backing from the president of Russia, then that tells you that things are going to happen in Russia with Bitcoin. So that's another big news. And then also the Bank of Canada. Right here on August 17th, a little less than a month ago, it says Bank of Canada consultant proposes Bitcoin-based financial system. So for those who don't know, the Bank of Canada, it's Canada's central bank. So it's Canada's central bank. So Canada's central bank research consultant Warren E. Weber proposes a financial system that uses the cryptocurrency Bitcoin as a standard currency instead of fiat currencies. So even if they haven't adopted Bitcoin, for the research consultant of the Bank of Canada to propose a financial system that uses Bitcoin as a standard currency, that in itself is a huge leap forward. Because just for people to talk about Bitcoin, even at the highest financial institutions, that will spread the news like wildfire. More people will get interested in it. More people will want to invest, and it'll continue to grow. So we have 3 countries, Japan, Russia, and Canada, all adopting Bitcoin. So that tells you if they're adopting Bitcoin, you don't think that the US or the Asian countries will adopt it as well. That tells you, I don't think so. I think the US will definitely adopt Bitcoin. I think China will adopt Bitcoin. And even if they don't, then other countries around them will. I think the news of China banning Bitcoin, quote unquote, is already baked into the price right now. And that's why we're showing some support around this 3,800 level. So I think that all that fear, all this negative news that's come out, I think people are starting to see the light and see that Bitcoin is actually not as bad as people are saying, and it's actually for the people. That I think that we'll definitely see Bitcoin rally in the future, and there's going to be a lot more companies investing in it. So I think all of the weak sellers have gone right now, and I think that we're on our way for an uptrend. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll see Bitcoin rallying back up to its previous highs and break through 5,000 and go towards 7,500 by the end of the year. So I hope I put some people at ease. I know it's easy to get caught in the hype, get caught in the fear. When you have all these articles coming out, it's not easy holding Bitcoin or holding other altcoins. But if you do your research, if you're confident about what you're holding, then those coins will bounce back. When Bitcoin rallies, most of the coins rally with it. So if you're holding a coin right now and you're afraid, just hold it out. Bitcoin will rally again unless there's some crazy article that comes out. But I think people are starting to get used to what's fake and what's not. And we'll see this price rally very soon in the future. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.